I'm starting to make my spring wardrobe, and what easier way to start than a simple gathered skirt with this fabulous yellow fabric. I'm going to be starting easy with this gathered skirt because I kind of want to encourage myself to really make a spring wardrobe, you know. So I'm starting off easy with the skirt, and then we're gonna go to more dresses. If you've seen my last video of the dress, you do know that dress was a tad bit fitted, but we are using the same pattern. It is the Simplicity 9642. I'm gonna be using the torso part and also some of the layer parts. So this layer down here, I'm going to be using that just so it makes my life easier. I'm already starting to regret my decision because I forgot how complicated the top part of the dress was. So we have the pattern number 7, well, the cutout number 7, we have cutout number 9 and cutout number 8. Just from that pattern, that's just going to be from the waist to the below the hips. So I'm really sorry to rethink, but I think I'm gonna stick through it because I really like the silhouette of that. Apart from that, we have pattern cutout number 10, and the cutout number 10 is literally just the gathering layers. So this one, you cut 3 of them. If you can see here, they'll tell you cut 3. Honestly, I'm here like, oh, it's gonna be an easy pattern. No, girl, I'm giving myself more work. I can literally just cut out rectangles and we can call it a day, but I like to be a little extra, so we're gonna stick to the plan and try to do that. Let's get to it. The great thing about this pattern is that it literally tells you where the waistline is. I'm gonna trace the waistline right here and then just kind of measure out, and I think the paper length is literally the perfect length that I want the top piece to be, so it's just gonna end right there. I have all of my pattern pieces cut out, and today I really need a win. So instead of starting with the top of the skirt, I'm just gonna start connecting the layers. I went ahead and connected all of the top part of the skirt pieces together off camera. This is what it's looking like, and then I ended up putting on a zipper. It was between this yellow zipper and then this bright yellow zipper. So let me know which ones you think went a little bit better. I feel like this one, because it's a little bit, even though it's bright, it's a little bit more muted, as where this one's a little bit more orange. If you watched my previous video where I made the dress for the pattern pieces that I'm using for this skirt, you know that dress was a bit fitted. So at the end, on pattern piece number 9, I ended up using the last bit of it and then just cutting out like an extra strip for both sides just to add a little bit more room for me so it doesn't feel super tight como un chorizo. I'm just matching the centers of both layers as I want it, and then I'm just gonna go from there, just gather it kind of evenly around all the top layer, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and stitch that on. This is how the zipper turned out. Have it just right there. I do need to top stitch this still, and then if you see, I still have this gap. I'm gonna put a waistband over it that's gonna look like this, and then It's going to be a longer on one side, so it's going to overlap like that and then have a little button right there. So then this part will be completely hidden. We got done with the first layer, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and attach the second layer. I came into the realization that when I was cutting the pattern for the skirt layers, I did not take in consideration that the top was obviously more fitted towards the waist. So when I cut out the second layer, we ran into a problem. So I pinned everything. First, I was trying to gather everything and pin it to the top layer, and then there was not enough fabric. So I ungathered everything and then just pinning it, just straight pinning it into the first and second layer. I still have this gap. So I don't know if you can tell, there's like a biggish gap in here. This is the layer, and then this is how much extra fabric we have. So it's kind of creating like this pleat here to make it flush. So what I think I'm gonna do, since I kind of messed that one up, I seam ripped this right here. I didn't seam rip it all the way to the beginning just because I want to make it easier for myself, but I pinned where I want the fabric to end. So this is where it needs to end, and this is how much fabric I'm taking off. So as you can see, I'm just going to basically attach the fabric as if that was the end and just re-stitch the seam at that. Okay, now that I'm going back to pinning it, it looks like it works because there's no more extra fabric at the top layer, and I'll be able to just completely sew this flat. Yay! Okay, I'm really glad it worked. This is how that layer turned out. So the first layer, you can see there's gathering, but then on the second layer, it just looks like I just added, you know, length to the skirt. It's not gathered at all. I added a dart right here and then a dart right here. And that was just to kind of cinch it more at the waist. All I need to do now is make the waistband. I also need to top stitch the zipper with the matching thread and then hem the bottom with the matching thread. The skirt is completed. I love the skirt. It is the perfect length. The one thing I don't love is the waistband. It is my first time trying to do this waistband like all the way around that has an extra flapper at the end to kind of cover the zipper. And let's just say I winged it. Let me just show you. So I added a button. I first of all love the button. The button, it is this golden textured button. Look how beautiful it is. So I am obsessed with this button, but as you can tell, what is this? This is where I kind of just winged it because I was like, oh, I don't know how to do that. So this is what I wanted to do, kind of like a flap over the zipper. So it kind of just covers that. But because there is a zipper there and this is longer than where the zipper stopped, I couldn't have this just be completely continuous because then it didn't let me sew it, you know what I mean? So it would have, the zipper would have compromised it. But this is kind of what I was talking about that I want to do. One of the mistakes I made was making the buttonhole a little too small. As you can see, this is where it ended. So I literally just cut it open, took the bottom piece off, and then try to make it a little bit longer there. So it worked out. It's not horrible. It can definitely be way better. This is how it looks from far away. Doesn't look half bad once you don't have it up close to your face. But yeah, the waistband looks, you know, it looks pretty neat. It doesn't look horrible. But I think it's just the closure part at the back that's just like, girl, what are you doing? And I honestly had no idea what to do. So I'll probably remake it at a later time just because I really do want to wear this skirt out already. Is my next skirt. I will be making sure I cut out the right pieces to make it like fully gathered. And I was like, maybe let me know in the comments below. So I'm debating whether I want to leave it like this, just like a simple attached layer, or if I should make a very long ruffle and then just attach it on top. So it kind of covers the seam and gives it a little bit more character. But yeah, let me know if you think that would be a good idea, or if you just like it like this, nice and simple. Alright, so I think I've done enough talking. Let's get to the skirt montage. Alright everyone, that is all I had for today's video. It was kind of hectic. I think just trying to explain what was happening in here into actual words was like, girl, what are you talking about? I'm glad I stuck to my original plan and went with the more structured gathered skirt. If you already have patterns, don't be afraid to just go and use those patterns and kind of like customize your own. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in my next sewing project. Bye!